a story of self-obsession and beauty. It's been retold by the National Youth Theatre for the digital generation and focuses on social media, that culture around the selfie. Joining us now from their rehearsals in central London, two of the cast members, Temi Wilkie and Sam Heavycon. Welcome to both of you. Temi, let's begin with you if we can. What are you trying to do with this play?
We're trying to tell an old story in a new way, and it's a play that focuses on narcissism, and we think it really suits this age, just because there's so much that, you know, selfies are such a prevalent thing, and I think it sort of changes the way that you sort of perceive yourself, because you've got like an online profile, and you really are focused on like how you're portrayed to the outside world. So I suppose we're sort of like taking a mirror up to society and like examining ourselves.
Sam, it's fascinating, Sam, isn't it? The way that something that began as a bit of a joke has now been taken up by presidents, prime ministers, heaven knows, even the Pope. What's going on with the selfie? And rather more importantly, how can you join the selfie, which is something very recent, modern and techie, with a 100-year-old story written by Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray, all about a picture which never ages, of a man who actually has entered a Faustian pact and lives a life of hedonism and excess.
Well,
you go on, Tim, go for it.
No. We sort of started by thinking about self-portraits, and you know, they're things that have been around for like such a long time, and so it's not really that new a thing technically. It's just the added like addition of, you know, a phone.
Yeah. Go on, Sam. Don't be diffident. You're an actor. You meant to put yourself forward. Come on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Well, the good thing about I'm not really too sure. I'm sure what's about. I think said.
Yeah. I think it's more like to do. Oh yeah.
Yeah, go on, Temi. I was just let's just explore this idea of narcissism, because it's not just the selfie, is it? Because, you know, you take a selfie, maybe there's somebody else in it. It's an aide-memoire, a memento from a particular time when you were doing something with someone. But more generally, there is the broader criticism of things like, you know, Facebook friends. You know, what kind of friends are they really? And this sort of self-glorification which often comes through. I mean, tell us how you're going to sort of unpack that in a play.
And I think, well, the idea of Dorian in our version of the play is that she's
a woman.
She's a woman in our play, which is something that's completely different to the original book. And then she gets taken away in a group of friends in the East End of London, and they manipulate her, and then she gets caught up in like this whole world of sort of narcissism and self-obsession, and ultimately leads to her self-destruction.
Yeah, I mean, the selfie, it's hard to remember something which so rapidly, using technology, has just been rolled out, Temi, across so many people. Does it fulfil any useful functions? I mean, are you portraying something that's bleak and pessimistic and useless? Or are you actually saying within this, look, it's a bit more equivocal than that? We're not saying this is a new thing and a bad thing. We just don't know.
Yeah, I think like you can't just portray something in a bleak way or in a great way. It's got to be a bit more complex. So I think we're trying to do that. We're sort of like looking at it from both perspectives, because I mean, a lot of the time it is good to feel good about yourself, and like narcissism is the bad side of it, but you could be potentially adding to your own self-esteem. So I think it's a very funny play, and like the beginning of it, you sort of hopefully it's quite light and you just feel quite excited by it. So I think it's the passage goes from something that seems quite harmless and exciting, and then leads to sort of destruction towards the end. But
it takes a big nosedive in the second.
Yeah.
First half,
and if you
really. Oh, sorry, carry on.
No, so if you've succeeded in whetting the appetite of people who maybe want to come along and see it, how can they see it? Where will they see it? When will they see it?
We're at the Ambassadors Theatre in Covent Garden.
Yeah, we're running for 10 weeks.
10 weeks, yeah.
We preview 17th of September, all the way up to the last week in November.
And at least when you're on the stage, you'll not have to contend with the noise from passing aeroplanes as you are now. Okay.
Yeah.
Sam Heavycon, thanks both very much indeed. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
No problem. You've been watching Digital View. If you missed any of the show, find